And now, from the QB Situation Room, it's filmmaker and roving correspondent Joe C.
All right, I've been receiving an email here or there, and there's some questions that have been asked. If you folks that are emailing would like to just line them up like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and ask a very brief question, number 1, number 2, number 3, just one question, and just number it so I can refer to it, because it seems like this Haspel Street Brian is such a chameleon. The waters are now getting muddied by all of the confusion set forth by the Haspel Street desk. You know, some had asked, well, what happened? What was the obsession with Haspel Street Brian and myself? You see, when you call a person once, twice, 3 times, fine, there's no response, and you just keep calling, and every time you call, there's always a complaint to be lodged. And the very first complaints that were lodged were how he hates the surroundings in Elmhurst, and I had told him, you know, you're going back to a cesspool, and he knew this going in. Why do you want to confess this and elaborate to me? So, again, we will soon be starting the New York voicemail sequence. I think maybe we'll start with 5 voicemails to start. I already isolated where the New York voicemails begin, and we'll run it up to present. Present would be the 2 or 3 voicemails after the breakup, and then it went really quiet. So from June, maybe I think it was into August, and then it got very quiet the last month or so, because, you know, my cover was blown when Ellen and John called him up there. But somebody had to be made aware of it. And if we run out of material, what we will simply do is furnish John and Ellen with the YouTube screen name, and then let them go crazy with that, and then they'll watch them immediately block me from trying to access them and whatever. But who cares? Because I know that John on the side, nudge, nudge, say no more. John will be looking at it when Helen's like, out shopping or something. He'll be getting a kick out of it, because guys like to hear about this stuff. Ellen's a nervous wreck. She really is. I ever tell you about this? Years back, oh man, we're not, I guess, upper 20s. And I think we were driving out to Jersey. I think Ellen's from Jersey. She drives stop, go. When she sees a red light up ahead, she'll fly up there at 65 miles an hour and then slam the brakes on for the red light. Then it goes green and she peels out. Instead of coasting, it was one of the first times that I started to get seasick in a car. It was with Ellen's driving. When Brian came out in the beginning of 2008, I think it was, he related to me that she's still the same way. Her hands are swinging all over the place. She's, directing traffic from behind the steering wheel, and she's got everything to say at every street corner. She's ranting and raving about the way people drive. She doesn't just shut her mouth and drive. She just goes all over the place. Okay, let's see. Let's get back to it. Oh, yeah, I want to make one last comment here, or 2 or 3. When Brian, in the end of 2007, he was let go of the job, and I think he told Strasbourg that he quit. No, he didn't quit. He was let go, and currently he has been out of work for 3 years, unless he has taken the security / doorman position. Then he's employed. If anybody wants to inform me about that, let me know. But what else is new? He doesn't understand how disturbed he is. And he's driving people that are around him to pick up a camera and go hog wild. Well, what do you want from me? So that's it. Address your questions in an even sort of uniform way, and I will address them. I'm going to have to write this all down, folks, because there's so many questions now are being raised that I don't know where to start. Let's see. I think somebody asked me about Maryland. Not Marilyn, his ex-girlfriend, B's ex-girlfriend, Brian's ex-girlfriend, but they asked me about the state of Maryland. That was like, we got out of there in the end of 79, beginning of 80. I think it was November or December of 79. That's 1979. So we're talking about ancient history. Everyone is off and running. I lost touch. They have people have the phone number, and I got some wild phone call about 6 years ago, and back about 15 years ago, about 92, maybe 93, more than 15, I was told that the ex was sick. You know, she'd been smoking since she was 12 or 13 years old. So I think she's finished. I think she's gone, dead. Okay, dead and good and dead. So I got this call that never was followed up, and nobody left me a phone number. So what do they want me to look in a crystal ball, rub out Aladdin's lamp, and ask for who called? F you! If you don't want to leave an effing phone number, I don't care. I don't care. When I say how many times I get a message on my cell phone, I don't know the number. You don't leave a voicemail? Delete. It's cleared. I don't want to know you. I'm not going to call you back and say, who's this? F you. Son of a bitch. All right, look. I got some hooligan now. Don't, please, buddy. Don't keep walking, you hobo bastard. Okay. We'll address the questions that you want to lay out, and that's, I said it 3 times now, and that's the end of that. So, as always, this is the brief. This guy's walking right up to me. I swear I'm going to run this fuck over. I'm going to start the car now. He's going to be dead. 2 seconds flat. Keep walking, you scumbag. Good. He looks like something. You know that guy Sling Blade? Billy Bob Thornton, who played Sling Blade? That's what this guy just looked like. I can't turn the camera. It took me too long to set it up. I'm using that mini tripod I picked up at REI Sporting Goods. I'm blessed with it right now. It's a static shot. We're filming it in VGA. I think I have it on skin tone, and I do not have the stabilization on because the stabilization has a tracking and it was jumping around, and I notice it's pretty rock steady now. So that's that. All right, look, enough babbling. I will address your concerns later, and if Brian in Haspel Street, it's at Haspel Street and 54th Avenue. That's the cross street in Elmhurst. It's within a 200-foot area of that. So anybody with a camcorder wants to run down there and set up, you can't miss him. It's a big, bulking guy with brown, receding hair. He's got a big goatee, big, thick goatee. Never want to shave that off. And he's gimping around, and you can't miss him. He's a bulk and a half. So if you want to throw a camera or get a 3-camera shoot over there, you can go right ahead and do so. And I'd be more than happy to observe and comment on your video, your filming techniques. So that's it. Let's see. Anything else before we close out? It's going to run. I don't want to run this past 10 minutes because of the upload. Again, it's a VGA I'm filming this in. It's not top quality. But don't you like the fact that the camera's not moving around now? You know, I can concentrate more on my anger. My anger! You hear what I'm saying? Oh, no, I've not been drinking. No, I don't drink. If I want to film a daylight shot indoors, incidentally, the red-faced man gets bitten by a cat, that particular video, that was filmed in fluorescent lighting, but I had it on daylight. That's why they gave me that red face. It looked like I had red lipstick on, and like, as I said, a rummy walking out of Donovan's or Woodside. Matter of fact, I would recommend Brian go to Donovan's, get himself real S-faced up there, and pick up a nice Irish big-boob babe instead of calling me up. I want to know that he's banging, 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 and banging. That's it. That ain't going to happen, folks. That's not going to happen. He's there sitting crying in his soup. What happened? What did I do? You know what you did. You did the same thing to Joe in Strasbourg. You did the same thing to Judy in Chicago. You did the same thing to Marilyn in Pennsylvania. One final thing. It's been asked, what do I refer to when Brian says he's not going to be a slave to it? Plain and simple, he said to me many, many years ago, he's not going to be a slave to his phone pole. In other words, when it's aroused and he's with a girl, he's not going to react like a man reacts. He's going to be a girl man and just chat all evening with her. Instead of saying, let's go someplace secluded, I want to show you something. No. So when he says he's not going to be a slave to it, he means he's not going to be a slave to his own manly instincts. So what does that leave him? That leaves him wallowing in the mire. I can hear it now. Pot up, bring up the Bee Gees song. How can you mend a broken heart? Oh, what a, that was his song. Do you know that? Oh, he would practically cry when he heard that song. This is going back when he was in his 20s. Get over it. The Bee Gees went to Saturday Night Fever, and they bailed on their old ways, and they're into that disco thing. And I think Andy Gibb is dead now, right? How did he kill himself? He just died. I don't know how he died. Who knows? What did he? The hump? What did he have? A blood transfusion like those vampires there in Mick Jagger's band, the Stones? Bunch of half of them are vampires and leeches. Okay, enough of the babble. As you know, from the QB Situation Room, as always, more later. Stick that in your pipe and smoke it, you big bloated bastard.